Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 13th of September. So good old Friday the 13th. So firstly, let's look at what's in store for today. Well, what we've had, let's just get to Friday, there we go. So inflation data came up higher for the US yesterday, which pretty much was a continuation of what we'd seen the previous day with higher inflation. So this sort of knocks away the possibility of a 0.5% cut. Some may think. We'll see next week. Anyway, aside of that, unemployment claims were pretty much in line there yesterday. Today, we've got best part nothing really. We've got the consumer sentiment later on at 3 p.m. UK time. So that is pretty much it concerning inflation expectations. Well, of course, that might just seeing inflation expectations, that might create a little bit of volatility. So let's have a look at the technicals. Sorry, my charts, my computer's rebooted, so you're going to find all sorts of gremlins as I go through here. So the euro yesterday managed to catch a bounce. Quite a solid bounce off that 200 in the end, and the monthly pivot. It's now come to a solid resistance point in the form of its weekly pivot, which it's already reacting to at the moment. We'll see how much more that reacts, but it has, in doing all what it's done, given us a higher low, a solid old movement here. If it can break that weekly pivot, then it would be a more bullish prospect. It's already moved so far there through yesterday afternoon. We'll, as I say, we'll see exactly what sort of comes of this. But for now, I certainly don't like this. The downside with the shape of the price action it's done here. It's put a pivot swing on the dailies, which is a bullish signal. We see them all the time. There's one here. There's loads all over this place. Bearish swings, bullish swings. Anyway, bullish one sitting there at the moment. We'll see what develops from it. But I don't have an immediate setup on the euro. The pound, likewise, bullish pivot swing. It's put in there into its monthly pivot. And it's as if we're looking at the same thing here. It's gone into its weekly pivot here and found resistance. So it's pretty much done a lot this week. It's S2, S1, and then S1, S2, and then all the way back up to its daily pivot, which weekly pivot, which appears to be moving off again at the moment. It's whether or not it's got any momentum in this. We could have a target down to its daily pivot there. We'll see what happens post 8 o'clock, but there's potential. US dollar yen, having said that, I don't particularly fancy shorting it. Something I really like again is the yen. It's kicking down there. I say I like it. It's how to get into it again. Earlier this week it was pretty easy on from a 4-hourly perspective here when it started breaking down, wherever it was. It's here, wasn't it? It came off quite nicely. We caught the bounce with the news originally there on Wednesday, and then yesterday's news. Well, it's gradually strengthened it again. There'll be some divergences, I'm sure, across the lows here that traders will be looking at, but really it's waiting for a retrace to sell back into. It may be a case of waiting till next week for that for me. Aussie dollar, again, got the same old pivot swing sitting there. It's a little bit more bullish than the other markets in terms of it's already broken its weekly pivot. In fact, it'll be quite interesting to see if it pulls back to the upside of the pivot and gets a bit of a bounce. It's got its daily pivot down there as well, which again could be a bit of a short-term target, an intraday target. We'll see what happens post 8 o'clock. US dollar CAD, So bigger picture, it hasn't moved so far off. Whereas the other markets have put nice pivot swings in, nice moves here, this has just pretty much gone sideward. So lacking the strength in terms of the Canadian dollar. US dollar holding up better here, and looks quite ugly. It's into the underside here. We'll see how it reacts. I mean, it could be a nice little move down towards its S1. It's got support right below here at 135.66 sort of area. Seems to have found that level of support which it doesn't want to break, but like a pebble on the pond, it might eventually go. New Zealand dollar, again, put the pivot swing in just like everything else here, and reacting to its monthly pivot, and it's got its daily pivot. They're just all the same. It's which one do you want to choose this morning? Okay, US dollar Swissy. Right, that's not really going too far. Yesterday it popped and dropped a little, but much more of a mess. It has put higher lows in here. It would be good to see if it gets another push to the upside. I do sort of like the idea of this running to the upside, but the dollar seems at times so weak, or so hammered, that we see these corrections coming back here. But it's consolidating where it is at the moment. It could be all over and looking to change shape here and give us a lower high, so not so clear on that in terms of where it's sitting at the moment. Okay, some of the usual suspects. The Euro CAD, completely messed up here now. Actually, I think I mentioned yesterday it's pretty messed up. It's pretty messed up for me there. Just Euro Yen, where are you gone? There we are. Euro Yen, bit on the ugly side here from a daily picture. It's coming southbound again. It's a stronger yen, but yesterday was a complete mess on it. It's just losing shape. There's just quite a few. I mean, the better markets in terms of the potential, possibly still to the upside, like the euro and the pound, although both of them, or the euro, pound and Aussie, but they've got these pivots underneath, daily pivots underneath, which could be a draw to the downside, and it could be just waiting for a reaction to what they do into those pivots. They got around about 75% chance being hit. You could of course short down to them. A risk of, obviously, a biggish risk in that, although looking at the shape of the pound here, it does look quite reasonable. If this had been at any other time, any other day, I'd probably be, I mean, this is a 4-hourly chart, so I'd be looking at the swing to the downside from where it is, just see what happens at the close of this 4-hourly bar. So it's still looking relatively weak. The euro no different here, same thing. Would be just a watch to see what it did at the end of it, but may just have to wait until I mean, that might be the starting point for a trade early next week. Really, they're the pair I'm looking at, the two pairs I'm looking at this stage. Looking elsewhere then, gold. Gold yesterday broke through those prior highs. It's now making all-time new highs here. It's getting a bit of an excitement around that. No surprise with the indecision and everything else that's going on in the world at the moment, that we're seeing this pushing up. Solid old shove there, pushing through. What time is that really kicking off there? So it's 1 o'clock there, so it picked up just after the inflation, picking up more solidly and pushing up. How you get into the longs on this, it really, you just got to wait for the retracements in my book. Oil up a bit this morning, continued its little move from yesterday, the day before, Wednesday. So we're just seeing this sort of move up, looking like it wants to get back towards its weekly pivot there. Not quite surprised here at all. Not keen on looking for, as I said yesterday, it's broken the trend there, it's put the higher lows in there. It done that yesterday morning there, it pushed in there quite ugly through the day there. The structure really at the moment is to the upside, although consolidating in the middle of nowhere, which makes it less reliable. S&P's up this morning, but weird old day there yesterday. Let's just get the dailies. There you go. Did actually manage to push up again yesterday. Just every time someone writes these equity markets off, they come back again with a bit of a, well, not quite such a vengeance yesterday, but a continuation from that bullish engulfing continuation, more of a continuation type bar that formed on Wednesday. Anyway, we could be back for the tops if this excitement continues here. Okay, then the FTSE remains ugly. Really don't like it when it's doing what it's doing here at the moment. It's a messy old market. There are some half decent moves within it, but in the shorter time frames, hourly time frames, etc., you look at it on a 4 hourly and it's quite a mess here. DAX, it's messing me around. I don't know what I've done here. Lose that. I've lost the daily, that's what I've done. It does this to me. Okay, anyway, let's look at this, whip it back into a daily bar here. So likewise, it's quite messy in terms of what's happening, but it is pushing more towards potential upside there. It's put the higher lows in. It's changed structurally. It's changed with the higher lows in there. Looks more positive. It could be a bit of a follow through, depending on what it does at the end of this hour. Whether we switch around back again, could be a bit of upside potential from where it's sitting right into 34. Had a reaction to that, but it needs to turn around, become a bit more positive for me to be interested. Okay, that's pretty much it for me for today. I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you next week. Take care. Bye for now.